Your Excellency President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic, my leader, the head of the National Assembly, the President of the Senate, my big brother, Senator Akpabio, the leader of the House, Professor Julius Ihonvere, the members of the Executive Council. Let me leverage the position of the Attorney General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our development partners, especially the World Bank, and other senior aides of Mr. President in this room. Mr. President, I'm just coming from London, and I was invited by Chatham House and the UK Parliament, as well as the incidents happening in London now with regards to climate change and the need to bring investors to Nigeria. Mr. President, in the conversation that took place, whether it be security that they inquired about, whether it be electoral affairs that they inquired about, whether it's about investors coming into Nigeria, the issue of digital transformation was central to the conversation. The issue of data, statistics was central. The world is aware that our Act, NIMC Act of 2007 was obsolete. And the world also had been monitoring that effort was being made towards retooling, redefining, re-equipping that piece of legislation to become what is fit for purpose, considering our current realities. And they were waiting to hear from us, when is it going to become an instrument that we'll use in building our nation. I assured them that we have completed our work as Parliament, that the executives sponsored this bill and we have completed our work as Parliament, that in no distance time that the President was going to be giving his assent. Little did I know that I'll be getting a call just yesterday to fly in this morning to join for this historic event. Mr. President, today marks a historic milestone in Nigeria's digital transformation, the signing of the new National Identity Management Commission, NIMC Act 2026. It reflects that the federal government of Nigeria's bold commitment to building a robust, trusted, and inclusive identity ecosystem is something that the President has taken seriously, and also to better the laws of Nigerians. This landmark legislation expands NIMC mandate. It provides a strong legal framework for digital identity and verification, and paves the way for the implementation of the National Public Key Infrastructure, NPKI. The NPKI will enable secure electronic transactions, which most of these investors that we were marketing just last week at the Climate Investment Week in London have been asking about. Digital signatures will be enabled, as well as authentication, and it will enhance cybersecurity across government and private sector services. This achievement, Mr. President, builds on NIMC's remarkable progress under the leadership of the Director General, Engineer Dr. Abisoye Kuka Udusode. And I cannot agree any less with my brother, Tunji, that you chose the right peg for the right hole. The lady that is occupying this position has made us proud. The conversation we had with her when we were going through this piece of legislation shows her thorough understanding of what the needs of our country were and what needed to be done to solve them. The Commission has significantly scaled the NIN enrollment, expanded access through front-end partners, strengthened data security, introduced self-service platforms, and extended services to the underserved communities and the diaspora. It has also modernized its infrastructure and improved interoperability with other institutions. Mr. President, as we celebrate this act, we recognize that laws alone do not transform nations. What matters most is our collective commitment to faithful and effective implementation of this piece of legislation. Mr. President, we envision a Nigeria where every citizen has a trusted digital identity, which is the intention of this act. Government services are seamless, which is the intention of this act, and businesses transact securely. Fraud is minimized, giving confidence to investors who want to come to our country. We want to thank you for thinking in this direction. Legacy by legacy, reform by reform, brick by brick, you are building the wall of this nation. Digital trust drives innovation, Mr. President, and it also drives prosperity. On behalf of the House of Representatives, I express deep appreciation to Mr. President, the National Assembly, under the leadership of the Senate President, the Supervising Ministry, and the National Identity Management Commission, the development partners for all the work you have done from the back of the curtain, and all stakeholders for making this milestone possible. Together, let us build a secure, and inclusive, and digitally empowered Nigeria, one trusted identity at a time. Thank you, Mr. President. God bless you, and bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, my brother, the Deputy Speaker, and all dignitaries in the House. Let me single out the country representative of the World Bank for coming all the way to witness this epoch-making occasion. Mr. President, I don't think, if I speak, we are going to reopen the debate on why we passed this piece of legislation for you to assent to become an act of parliament today. But let me say it's part of your innovation, part of your intuition, part of your reforms for Nigeria. You have promised that under your tenure, by the time you are through, that Nigeria will never be the same again. So even from the achievement so far made by the Ministry of Interior in terms of identifying and picking up criminals at the point of entry, it shows that even before assenting to this bill, that a bill is already working. And my brother has also mentioned the advantages. So mine is to say congratulations to you for the innovation, and congratulations to the National Assembly for interpreting your vision, and congratulations to the Ministry of Interior, and particularly Our Lady in NIMC for the work they are going to do in being able to ensure that this piece of legislation is well implemented. And for our partners, the World Bank, thank you for being a part of this history. Thank you, Mr. President.
Will Akpabio and Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, and to the respective ministers here, the Attorney General of the Federation, and to my Honorable Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubumin Tunjiojo, and to the World Bank representatives, and to the House Leader, happy birthday once more. You turned 70 yesterday. Today marks a defining moment in the history of identity management in Nigeria. Mr. President, your visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to digital transformation have once again positioned Nigeria for a future driven by innovation, trust, and inclusion. This landmark legislation is not just an amendment of an existing law. It is a bold leap into the future. For 19 years, the legal framework governing Nigeria's identity management system remained unchanged, while the digital landscape evolved rapidly. Today, that gap has been closed. Building on the NIMC Act of 2007, the NIMC Act 2026 establishes a modern legal framework that further strengthens the Nigerian digital public infrastructure, creating the foundation for trusted identity and seamless access to government and private sector services. It reinforces the National Identification Number as the cornerstone of identity verification and authentication across the country. The Act also introduces critical innovations that respond to the realities of today's digital world. It strengthens the protection of citizens' personal data, reinforces cybersecurity measures, provides the legal basis for a robust national public key infrastructure, and supports secure digital authentication, encryption, and digital signatures. These provisions will enhance trust in digital transactions and protect Nigerians in an increasingly connected economy. Mr. President, this historic legislation demonstrates your administration's commitment to protecting citizens' data, expanding access to essential services, strengthening national security, and accelerating Nigeria's digital economy. It provides a strong legal foundation for building a trusted digital ecosystem that will galvanize the achievement of a $1 trillion economy by 2030 through economic diversification and social investment. I also wish to sincerely appreciate the President of the Senate, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, the distinguished members of the National Assembly, the Honorable Minister of Interior, the Honorable Minister of Justice, and the Attorney General of the Federation, our development partners, the World Bank, stakeholders, and the dedicated staff of NIMC, whose collective efforts have made this achievement very possible. As a Commission, we remain committed to implementing this act with transparency, professionalism, innovation, and the highest standards of data protection and service delivery. We will continue to work tirelessly to ensure that every Nigerian and legal resident benefits from a secure, inclusive, and efficient digital identity ecosystem. Once again, I thank you, Mr. President, for this historic gift to Nigeria and to generations yet unborn. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.